Good morning and welcome to the New York Sofalites podcast. I'm here with Stephanie and Gretchen, and today is the day. We've teased this in, I think, every single episode of this podcast, and today we are finally going to talk about Playing with Fire, the musical concept album written by Chasez on the topic of Frankenstein. Let's get into it. What did you guys think?
I liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie. I did. Yeah. I think his singing is it's better than I gave it credit for, than I realized. I will say I don't know what the plot line is really supposed to be. But I was pleasantly surprised by it, and I could envision it on a stage.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he has a beautiful voice. I thought that maybe his voice and the other vocalist sounded really similar to each other, and
They
that also made
did,
it
yeah.
hard to follow.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
I thought they were the same person until Rachel told me they weren't. So I was very confused about like who's the father, who's Frankenstein, who's Frankenstein's monster. I was very confused about that at first.
But they both have beautiful voices.
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
They do. I did have to look at the lyric breakdown on Spotify as it was playing to see who was who. Because they were they were saying like Frankenstein and then creature or whatever. So yeah, so that was one way. But then there were other characters that I didn't realize existed, like Adam and Victor, and I wasn't really sure like who they were or how they fit in.
Oh.
Well, I think Victor is Victor Frankenstein, right?
Okay, I just don't know why they would, in one song call him Frankenstein and the other call him Victor. Like, to me, that denotes two different characters, but maybe they are meant to be the main character. And maybe Adam is like, in some, the Christian mythology sense, like the son or whatever, but that just occurred
so maybe
to me,
Adam
is the creature?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I'm just confused. I feel like if they're gonna put names in the lyrics of the soundtrack, they should just be consistent.
Yeah, you're right. They should. They should.
Especially when there's no actual like show.
Yeah, just listening. There's no indication. And very similar voices.
Yeah.
Yes. Great point. Just so that we tag it, Cardamom Rossi is the name of the other actor that plays Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster. I don't know which one is which. I really couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I thought he was Victor, and I thought that was Victor Frankenstein. But maybe I was interpreting that incorrectly. Yeah. And then Chasez was the creature. That's what I thought. But I could be incorrect. Okay. But I do want to echo Chasez has a great voice. I always thought he was more talented than Justin Timberlake, and I don't know why he wasn't the breakout one. I think Justin Timberlake was a little bit younger and like a little bit like edgier, maybe. I don't know, but like I was always confused about that. Yeah.
I don't know why Justin Timberlake was really the breakout star. Like I do, but I feel like Chasez could have done that too in a way.
I feel like maybe
it was the Britney Spears
I was gonna say
relationship, all that stuff.
I think he owes a lot to Britney, even though he won't acknowledge it.
It's very Justin. I know. He turned out to be the most disappointing one in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I mean, Lance Bass wants to go to space. I don't know what Chris Kirkpatrick is doing.
Did he not go to space? I think.
Did he go to space? I don't know. I thought he just said he wanted to.
I thought he went.
Oh, I don't know.
We all want to go to space.
I don't know if I want to
make you special, Lance Bass.
I don't know if he went to space, but I think he. I know he like made it very clear that he was down, but yeah, I don't know what Chris Kirkpatrick is up to, but Joey Fatone is like great at his persona. Like he knows what he is, and he like does, Joey Fatone.
I think, does he not, he hosts something now. Does he
Yeah,
like host The Price is Right or something now?
something. Yeah,
He's,
something.
yeah, he's got stuff. He's doing things.
He's got stuff going on for sure. But JC Chasez is now, we are all seeing that he might be the more musically inclined. I don't want to say that because I don't know if that's exactly how to describe it, but I always thought he had a better range. He had a better like ability to take on different styles. And I think even Justin Timberlake said that he was way better than me, but I don't know.
Yeah, he was like the girl in Dreamgirls that like stands behind Diana Ross, but
Mm,
is like more talented than Diana Ross.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake is Diana Ross.
I don't know if Diana Ross
Whatever.
would love that comparison, but that's okay. But anyways, the Frankenstein. So,
Okay, so do
we're
we want to really quick try to put together for our listeners what we think the plot of this musical is?
Sure. And do we actually know what it is? Like, can we look this up online or, because I haven't yet.
there is an Instagram for the show. Yeah.
I
Okay.
was
But
going to
that's
say, we know what the plot of Frankenstein the book is, so we
mhm.
can kind of
Hmm.
assume, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's a little bit of stuff in this musical and like the framing device that is not in the book, like the setup with Victor's wife and like the fear of dying in childbirth and like that stuff I feel
Hmm.
like is not in the book. I haven't read it in a
Yes.
long time. Because
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
not his
Same
wife in the
here.
beginning. She's like they get married near the end,
Yeah. They're like, yeah,
right?
girlfriend. And she's like assessing him, like, do you
Yeah.
think I have bodily autonomy or no? And that's kind of, that's how I interpreted that one song at least. But
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
that was a lot. So she was like it was Victor's mother. It opens with like or I guess it opens after the events of the musical and then the musical happens in a flashback,
mhm.
kind of
Okay.
like
That makes
Phantom of the Opera or
sense.
something. And and then it goes to I guess like the events of the musical and it's his Victor's mother that's like having another child and his father has to choose whether to save the baby or save the mother in this like really stressful childbirth situation.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I got from it. And it reminds me a bit of the story of Mary Shelley, who wrote the book Frankenstein, because I believe her mom died shortly after her birth. So I don't know if it was necessarily a choice between her life and her mom's life back then, but yeah, she survived, her mom didn't. So she grew up essentially motherless, but her mom was like this big figure that had been fairly well known and stuff. So it was always like a shadow looming over her. So I don't know if they're like calling back to that part of history, Frankenstein kind of, or what. But it was interesting to think about that, choosing between the mom and the kid, um, in, in light of what happened to the actual author of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
By the way, she also lost her virginity on her mom's grave. She
What?
had sex for the first time on her mom's grave, Mary Shelley. Yeah.
What?
Wow. With Shelley, her husband?
Mm.
I don't think I actually don't remember, but when I first read Frankenstein, I got really into the history of it and Mary Shelley and everything. So that's one tidbit I remember. But was it her husband? I don't remember.
That's wild.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
I love Mary Shelley and also, yeah, her mom, Mary Wollstonecraft, like hugely successful humanist philosopher, like very much like a woman in a
Early
man's field at the
feminist.
time,
Yeah.
early feminist, like real boss bitch energy.
Yep. Yep, definitely. And
Yeah,
then
I feel
yeah,
like
and
she'd be
then she
proud.
died. Yeah, I mean I think so too.
I think so too. Yeah.
So yeah,
plot
no
of this show.
indication, no indication in the musical, like what happens to Victor's mother, but I feel like we can assume that she did not survive the birth of his brother or sister.
Yeah, it
They
seems like
really did they come back
she's.
to it?
I thought the song said that she had died and that her husband had chosen the baby over her. That's what I thought the song was
I
Okay.
got
saying.
from it
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Okay.
So in my mind, she's in the, I guess in the flashback, she dies, or she's like already dead when the musical starts. Um, but
Oh, so
that's,
is
I don't
he
know. Yeah.
So I guess I was reading the lyrics maybe wrong then. He says something about like wanting to reanimate someone, and I thought he was talking about his wife, but could he have been talking about his mom?
I
My
don't know.
impression, which could be wrong, was that he wanted to prove he could reanimate life so that his wife wouldn't go through that. Because
Oh,
he kept promising, or because she was like, I don't know if I want to have a baby if that's going to happen to me. And that's what I
sure.
thought. I could be wrong, but
I
I
picked up
think
on the, I don't know if I want to have a baby if that's going to happen to me.
yeah,
And then I got in a really existential, thought
yeah.
process about how women used to die in childbirth all the time, and it's still really dangerous. And like back then, it was just like a risk of like being a woman. Every time you had sex, like you basically risked dying.
Mhm.
whoa.
Back
But
then.
no, you're
Yeah,
totally right.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
For men, it didn't happen until the AIDS crisis, but that's a whole other story.
I
So
mean, yeah, there was syphilis that might kill you slowly,
Sure.
but
it
yeah,
sent me into like a dark spot.
yeah, yeah,
I was like, whoa.
yeah, yeah. I did hear someone. I was listening to a podcast. It was last podcast and I laughed. I liked that one a lot, and they were doing a series on the Black Dahlia, and someone was described as syphilitic, and I forgot that, like, yeah, people just had syphilis and it like affected their eyesight and everything,
Yeah, they
and
would
like,
die slowly from it,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
over
yeah,
time, it would just kill them.
yeah,
Oh my
hmm
God.
yeah.
There is, speaking of like syphilis, there is a series on Prime called The English, and it's very, very fucking good. It stars Emily Blunt and the Rafe Spall,
Mm.
the guy from Trying on Apple TV, and he it was like there's like it's a syphilis plot line, and it's
Oh,
horrifying, but the show is so good.
my God.
This has popped up on Amazon Prime for me, and I haven't watched it. Um,
Should look it up. I haven't seen it either,
yeah, I
but
should check it
It's
out.
it's bonkers. It's good. I endorse it. There's a lot of syphilis.
oh
Just be
God.
prepared. Like
Yeah.
more syphilis than you think that there will be.
Oh my God.
It's just weird to think about people just like a lot of people just had syphilis and then their like noses would
They
fall off, right?
did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they actually
Yeah,
invented rhinoplasty before they invented antibiotics vis-a-vis dealing with syphilis.
Really?
that's
Wow.
crazy.
Oh, there's like a
Yeah, they were
Frankenstein
like
sublet plot there. It's like piecing someone together. Yeah. Wow. Wait,
Anyway,
what were
so
you gonna
back to
say?
the
Yeah.
the show.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I thought the really confusing song for me was, I think it was two or three, and it's something like "Why Don't You Touch Me" or "Touch" was the name of it, and I was
Yeah,
so
things got a little
confused.
out of pocket
You
at that
used to
Yeah,
point.
touch me.
you
Yeah.
used to touch me. Yeah. Um, I was like,
Speak on it.
who is he talking to right now? Is he talking to his dad? Is he talking to a lover? Is he talking to his creator? I like if he's the creature. I have no idea. Like I don't know. I'm so confused because it was like
I
so, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It was
I
so
believe
nebulous.
yeah, no, I don't think it was. I think he was talking, he was the creature and he was talking to his creator
Yeah.
and it was like a sex thing.
Yeah, there was sexual undertones. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I,
he said
Yeah.
you used to fuck me, so it wasn't even an
no, I
undertone.
thought
It
he said
was
that's how you fucked me.
no.
Like,
He's literally said like you used to fuck me. I
oh,
think. I think it
then
says
that,
that's how you fucked me. Yeah, you fucked me.
yeah. I thought you meant like fucked me over.
Okay. So
But
yeah, he fucked him over.
yeah.
The lights
But
came
also
on. I was
maybe
tied to
not.
your bed. You ran away in shame. You abandoned me. That's how
Yeah.
you fucked me. Oh yeah, you fucked me.
Yeah. When Stephanie said
Sad
it,
story.
yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah. When you say it like that, I'm like, oh, that sounds so sad.
It
Yeah.
sounds sad.
Well, because just like when I
It
hear
is
the lyrics
sad.
again, yeah, yeah, it is
It
sad.
is sad.
And
Like,
I thought that could be
yeah.
like an out. It could be like a metaphor, or it could easily those words could be coming from some guy who had sex with a woman and she now has syphilis or is pregnant, and like it's so it was really hard for me to interpret what that was. Um, but and there's also like the most poppy song, like it could be on in like a club, so like it was
I thought
confusing.
that too. I was like, this is a bop. And then it got kind of dark, like the like that's how you fucked me
Yeah,
thing and venting all your rage. I'm looking at the lyrics again.
yeah,
Yeah, I felt like I could see myself dancing to it.
yeah.
Yeah, in like a Sam Smith body shop kind of moment. Like,
Hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
yeah,
was.
Yeah.
no, I liked it. That one was a bop. I liked that
Yeah.
one.
I just don't know how it fit into anything because it was also felt like out of order, and like was the creature even created at that point? Because then it goes back to them at college, and like it was so weird. It was very confusing.
I
Yeah.
think I think the creature was created. Like that's what I got. Like that Frankenstein used to have love for this creature and then he didn't and like
Mm,
fucked him over type of thing.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe in a lover, like literal lover sort of way, maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah. There's definitely that like metaphor of like you abandoning, if not a lover, maybe just like someone who you love and loves you and who relies on you and like, you know, feeling like you got fucked over. And I think we are
Yeah,
jumping around in time in the musical.
Yeah. That's what I thought too. It is
we
not
have
linear.
to be, I think.
Yeah. It's not linear because then he talks about like bringing a frog to life, and then there's all that math.
Guys, we have to
Yeah.
talk about the math.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Stephanie, take us to math/science corner. What is the significance of the equation 1 over r squared?
So it's the inverse square. It's the inverse square. So
Isn't pi r isn't pi r squared like the circumference or the area? I forget.
it's basically when you do the inverse square of something, you're looking at in statistics, you're looking at data points and see how well your data fits um, a line showing like an average sort of trend over time,
Mm, okay.
right?
Hmm.
So I haven't actually had to work with this in a while.
Well, like who
So
told JC Chasez this? That's what I want to
I mean, it's pretty,
know.
if you do anything with statistics, it's
Standard.
pretty standard. Like R squared is the coefficient of determination and
Okay, all the things that you're saying are better lyrics than are what is in this song.
yeah, so I'm looking at one article right now from khanacademy.org and it says an inverse square law is characteristic of anything that spreads out in straight lines without getting lost. So 1 over r squared is the inverse square. And it says both gravity and electric force have this property. So maybe
Oh,
that's where it
electric
comes
for that
in.
could be.
Yeah,
He could be calculating,
electricity.
but like quite honestly, like all of the things that you just said would have been better lyrics in this song. They
Yeah.
just like repeated this like
Yeah.
nonsense, like
1 over r
I
squared.
know,
Yeah.
1
I
over
know.
r squared.
Over
No
and
one knows what
over.
that means.
Yeah,
Like,
1 over r squared, 1 over r squared.
Then they did it again. There was a reprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was that song in the middle, in between those two, that was like him bringing a frog back to life, right? So it was interesting. There's
yeah,
also
it's
that.
called I Found Death at the University.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is.
There it is.
He's
And I
at the
also thought it was
university.
yeah, he's at the university. He and Elizabeth are at the university, apparently, his wife, to be wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's interesting too. Was that part of the original, like him meeting his wife there?
I don't think so. I think that
Yeah.
when we start in life with Frankenstein, we're being told the story back. Like we're on like a boat in the Arctic trying to catch the creature, and
Yeah.
Frankenstein is retelling the story to his like friend, the boat person, while they're waiting for like the ice to melt or something. So I think he starts kind of just with like what he got up to making this monster.
Yeah. And then there was that later on there's that song about like animating. To me, I took it to be animating someone, the build me someone to love somewhere. I took it to be like creating someone who's going to love you, who you can love. And there's the conversation about like, well, what if they don't love you? What if it's not what you expect, sort of thing. And yeah, I wasn't sure if that was referring to like build me something to love. Was that referring to the creature, or were they literally talking about building a companion, like a romantic companion? Maybe it could be the creature, but I was thinking of like one for the creature as opposed to the creature for Frankenstein. I'm clearly
Yeah,
not
I
sure
think it's
though.
he is asking Frankenstein to build him a companion, like the monster wants a companion. And Frankenstein is having some feelings about that. He's like, what if I build you like a lady friend and she is also a murderer? And then it kind of, I guess we get into like the cycle of this trauma where like you create something that you can't control and you just have to love it the way it is,
Yeah.
even if it's a murderer.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that's the Frankenstein moral in a way. Yeah. But yeah.
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 yeah,
And then I think
yeah.
this is quoted in the musical. He says, like, Frankenstein is like, I'm not doing it. I'm not making you a companion. Like, we're not doing that. And so Frankenstein is like, well, then I will, or Frankenstein's monster is like, well, then I will see you on your wedding night. And it's like very foreboding. And I do remember that being quoted in the musical, and I liked that.
Yeah. That is interesting. Yeah, like getting in the way of the romantic relationship again. But yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was really interesting. Any last thoughts you think?
We were talking about the song where he was like asking Frankenstein to build him a companion, and we didn't talk about the song Father. The lyrics of this song are absolutely out of pocket. Like, I think that, is this the one where it's the one that's listed as being explicit? So let's just see if this is the song that I'm thinking
Oh my
of.
God.
Where he's like, work harder, master, or whatever. And he's just like, it's another club song.
It's funny how like
Maybe
the
that's not the
Frankenstein
one.
monsters are like club songs.
Okay, I
Yeah.
just did some Googling and I found some intel on the plot a little bit. So let me
Ooh,
know when you're
okay.
ready to
Go ahead. Give us
a
the
little bit, just a
synopsis.
little bit. So I Googled this. I don't know if you guys did, but on BroadwayRecords.com, which is the leading Grammy-winning record label dedicated to releasing the most popular and current Broadway cast recordings,
Oh.
it says Playing with Fire, the new musical from Chasez, Grammy-nominated member of NSYNC, and Jimmy Harry, Golden Globe winner of Madonna's masterpiece, draws inspiration from Mary Shelley's timeless Frankenstein. Featuring 12 original tracks, the musical reimagines the classical tale through a conversation between Frankenstein and his creation, the creature, at the grave of Frankenstein's wife, Elizabeth, 10 years after her murder.
Oh.
Through dynamic interplay of dialogue and shared flashbacks of key events in both their lives, the concept album plunges into the heart of their intertwined destinies.
Mm.
As they confront their past actions and the devastating impact they've had on one another, Frankenstein and the creature gradually find understanding, sympathy, and forgiveness. And
That's
Interesting.
it's
kind of
a
sweet.
profound exploration of love, redemption, and the human condition.
I wonder if
Mm.
they know about Mary Shelley losing her virginity at her mom's grave, because there's some.
I mean, if they don't, that's one serious coincidence. And
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like they did their research.
yeah, I feel like they must have researched that.
Yeah. Hopefully.
If they didn't, they better pretend they did because otherwise, that's just weird.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so I didn't realize that his wife had been murdered.
Yeah. I didn't get
Yeah,
that
so
either.
that's what he means when he says, I'll see you on your wedding night. And like Frankenstein thinks that the monster's going to come after him. And he's like, I'm ready for you, monster. You're not going to get me. And meanwhile, he is only thinking about himself. And he didn't realize that the monster actually was planning to kill his bride.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. This is deep and dark.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But then somehow
I
they're going
love
to
it.
like reconcile. Like, this
Yeah.
is,
What does that mean? I don't get
that's a
that.
big question.
But yeah.
So he goes to the Arctic. I guess he doesn't like find anything there. And then he just like 10 years later, they're both just like back in London hanging out. And they're like, sorry, I was mean to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
And
killed your wife.
they're both at the grave somehow. Yeah. I don't
That does
Yeah.
really,
not,
yeah.
that doesn't
I'm
seem
not sure
right.
that tracks, but that's okay. We have to just suspend our disbelief, I guess. But
I don't know. I mean, stranger things have happened than going to finding the husband of a murdered woman at her grave and also her perpetrator, the person who perpetrated the murder.
Maybe a metaphor for like, you know, trauma and forgiveness and just I think we discussed when we first started talking about this album how like it seems clear that JC has had like no therapy,
mm,
but if you were going to have some therapy, probably where you would want to end up is in a place where like you could forgive each other for all of
yeah,
these like
Yeah,
horrors
yeah,
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 metaphorically.
yeah. I
yeah.
think this is JC's, maybe this is his therapeutic release, and now he'll be in therapy, hopefully.
Maybe yeah, no, this was his therapy and there was a lot in there, man. There was stuff about fathers and sons and mothers and sons
Yeah.
and husbands and wives and husbands and or
Yeah.
whatever.
I do want to, before, I know we want to talk about the Golden Globes too, but before we move on, Rachel, how did you find this musical?
Oh, it was served to me in ads on
Oh.
Instagram because it pings my interests.
Frankenstein musical, NSYNC, it was all there. Yeah.
Basically, it ticks all the boxes. Like this one was really I was in the bag for this from the beginning. I want to see it staged. I just
Me
can't
too.
imagine a world where we don't get to see this
Me
majestic piece of
too.
theater.
Yeah.
I want to see it staged so badly. I feel like, yeah, it could be done really well.
It could, or it could be done really badly, and honestly, I'm there for both. Either way.
I am too. I mean, we have to say right now, if it does get staged
we're all
anywhere, we all have to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're opening night, JC. We will be there. Save us a seat.
Yes.
We're dying to know how this actually plays out on stage.
Yeah. We want the holes to be filled, and we'll be there for every part of it. So.
And if you have any questions about it yourselves, you can ask us, because we would love to talk about it with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Oh, and the song that I was talking about is Death of the Brides was the other like kind of club song where the lyric is "Do it, master, faster." And it made me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of moments where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. It was a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah.
Felt like I needed an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, art's supposed to do that, right? It's supposed to make us a little uncomfortable. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for the emotional roller coaster. Even though you both had told me it was like an emotional roller coaster before I even listened to it, I was not adequately prepared mentally for the emotional
I'm
roller
so sorry.
coaster. It's all right. I mean, that's fine. Like it's not that I didn't believe you. I just had no idea what I was in for, but it was cool in that way. So
you're welcome.
Yeah, not always surprised these days. So yeah, and yeah, there were a couple of bops that I was like, I was thinking, would it be weird if I added any of these to like my Halloween playlist? You know, because
No.
Oh.
Do it, I think.
Right?
Yeah.
Why not?
No, I think it had a good mix of like very, very pop music and also like stuff that is like very like modern American musical, like, you know, with a button on the end.
Yeah. Good job.
Stuff.
Good job, JC and Jimmy.
Well done, chaps.
Well done, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, do we want to talk a little bit about, I know it was almost a week ago now, but our kind of like takeaways from the Globes. Did you guys watch the Golden Globes?
I watched snippets. I didn't see the whole thing. I don't have a real TV, so I just have to watch replays. But
okay.
Yeah, but it was interesting. I gotta say, there were some nice looks, but I was not overall very impressed. I was like, these are all like, I could have seen these like 10 years ago, and it was like not pushing any boundaries or like making me feel any type of, anything for them. So that was I was like a little bit disappointing. People looked great. Many people looked beautiful, but I was just a little bit disappointed in the choices. I was like, well, we could probably do a little bit more here, but that's all right.
Yeah. I think, nothing too like spectacular, nothing that unexpected. I do finally feel like I get what Ariana Grande is doing now with those eyebrows. I didn't realize until I saw it contextualized in like the Audrey Hepburn dress. But now I feel like I get it. So
yeah,
sorry to Ariana. I had to be kind of beaten over the head with it.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of gloves, which was surprising. I really don't like gloves. I just don't like wearing them.
Fair, very fair. Yeah, like I mean, I thought Ariana Grande looked great in Givenchy, and also Cynthia Erivo looked amazing in Louis Vuitton. She had my favorite Louis Vuitton of the night.
I did like her a lot. And I think you're totally right. Like Ariana Grande was definitely channeling Audrey Hepburn, and that was like the first time I made that connection. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you're totally right about that.
Yeah, I appreciate her really driving that point home for us.
Yeah, she's like, listen, I will explain it to you with my outfit, so you guys finally get it and stop complaining about my eyebrows. But any other thoughts about dresses stuff?
You know, I had to go back and like Google it because I couldn't think of anything I liked or disliked. I felt like it was all kind of forgettable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that said, I actually do like the glove trend. Like I'm kind of here for it. Yeah, and you know, Ariana Grande's gloves and stuff. I think it's cool, and I'm personally liking it. But yeah, unlike my sister, I like to wear gloves, um, especially in the winter.
Well, yeah, in the
Yeah.
winter, if I need to be warm, I will wear gloves, but they just feel confining. I can't like touch things. I feel like I'm gonna get them dirty. Like I'm sure they take them off before they eat and stuff like that, but like it just feels like what do I can't hold anything. Like what if like I pick something up and it gets something on them? Like I don't know. They're
Well,
just
that's the thing. You can get gloves that have like sort of grips on the fingers,
hmm
like driving gloves, which I've
yeah.
done.
I like a driving
I
glove.
had, yeah, I had this dream of wearing gloves for a second at my wedding, and I got
Oh.
some, and they looked like so bad on me. I think they look better on taller people, like people with longer limbs than I have. Like think Carolyn Bessette Kennedy at her wedding. Like I
Oh,
got gloves
yes.
that were kind of similar to that without even realizing it. You know, it wasn't like inspired by her per se, but that I saw a picture of her at her wedding and I was like, wow, she looks fantastic. And the ones I got just I looked like a little kid trying to play dress up or something. Like it just looks so,
Oh
Oh, like in a
no.
little
yeah.
communion outfit with like the little gloves.
Something like that. I don't even know. It was so bad. And
Oh.
yeah, if anyone's in the market for a pair of Tool gloves, I missed my Amazon return date, so let me know.
I'm sure you'll get the
As you know.
opportunity to wear them in the future.
Yeah, I think I need longer arms though.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that was my take on the outfits. Like forgettable.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of
but
like trends I was seeing. I was seeing a lot of like those like deep sweetheart neckline or like deep
yeah.
V's. There was
hmm
a moment that like I'm not sure if like was kind of a faux pas, but Zoe Saldana and Zoe Kravitz were dressed like identically.
Yeah, that was
They both
interesting.
were wearing like a black YSL like deep V gown with like a slicked back ponytail. Like they were twins. The Zoes were twins, and I felt
hmm
in Zoe Kravitz's face when she came out to present her award that she was pissed about it.
I can see that. I feel like I loved the brown that Saldana had. I did appreciate that. That was a little bit like offbeat and unexpected.
Oh, was it
She had that.
brown? I thought it was black.
Well, the gown I couldn't really tell to be honest, but the kind of it wasn't taffeta, but like something that had that feel that it was like a jacket that she had around her was definitely
Oh,
brown. So that makes me think the dress was probably really dark brown, but I'm not positive.
okay.
It could have been black and brown. It was hard for me to tell, to be honest. But she did have a
I'm gonna say
brown
yeah, it's
dress
hard on the
on later.
screen.
It is, yeah. She had a brown dress on at the after party, like a brown lace dress. So that makes me kind of wonder if she was just going that color all night. But yeah, I like I'm sorry, I can't remember her last name, but Mickey, the girl that was in Honora,
Oh,
there are a
Mikey
lot of like
Madison.
Mikey, yeah. Um a lot of like textured and like full sequins dresses, but I did think hers was quite nice and the
Mm-hmm.
overall look was good. But yeah, it was a little bit forgettable, unfortunately. Um, I did appreciate Demi Moore's speech. I thought that was very good.
She
And
nailed it.
yeah, she did nail it. Um, and I appreciated the message. You know, she's 62. She just won her first award, basically. And, she felt underestimated. And now look at what she's done, so it's kind of nice. But I like that a lot.
Yeah, she's nailing it. She's definitely running for her Oscar. And I
Yes,
support her 100%.
that's true. I forget that this is also a political game for them at the Golden Globes. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is people getting to kind of like test out their Oscar narrative if they're like
Mm.
wanting to be in the running for Oscar. I think she hit the nail directly on the head. I think that Adrian Brody kind of got there eventually. He said a lot of stuff, and we have to talk about the Georgina Chapman of it all,
Oh,
but
yeah.
maybe we'll save that. Other acceptance speeches that I thought were great, everyone from Shogun, they were just
Yes.
like, hey, this is great. And I appreciate it. And then they got off the stage, and I was like, that's how you give a Golden Globe speech.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we don't want to hear you thank your agents. And we just, like, if you're not drunk, get off the stage.
Yeah. Yes.
If
And
you are drunk and you're Kieran Culkin and you're performing your acceptance speech as Chris Elliott from Schitt's Creek for some reason, I'm here for that.
Kieran Culkin, I've like really started to like him a lot. I knew he was. I did see him in a play once. He was great. I know he's great in Succession, but in his personal life, he just seems like really funny. Like he's like, if I could be a stay-at-home dad, I would. Like that's like what I like. And he's kind of seems really appreciative of his wife and his family and stuff. And I thought he was really funny. So yeah, I'm starting to really appreciate him. And I know I said last
Yes.
time that I was a Sebastian stan, but I do hear he's not great. I heard some bad things, so I don't know if I
Oh,
should
we
take
have
that
to
back.
talk about Sebastian
What happened? I
because
didn't hear.
he was having just like a really strange night. So he was nominated
Mm-hmm.
twice
Mm-hmm.
for
I
two different
remember that.
movies. And I
Yeah.
think that he felt that he was awarded the Golden Globe for the wrong one
Mm.
because in his acceptance speech, he was like, you know, it was not easy to make that movie about Donald Trump. And everyone was like, where do you think you are right now? Like, what is happening?
Yeah,
And
I
also
know.
like, so his he was kind of like, I guess, hard launching his relationship with oh my God, what is her name on the red carpet?
Oh, I don't remember.
She is the actress that she was in season 1 of Peaky Blinders. She played like the wife, and she was in a horror movie where like she had like a Voldemort guy on the back of her head. Anyway,
Oh,
um,
I don't know. It's not ringing any bells. But yeah, and his outfit was weird too. But
his
so
outfit was weird. Her outfit was bizarre. Oh, her name is
okay.
Annabelle Wallace, and she was
Oh,
full cosplaying Barbie.
Annabelle Wallets. Yes, I did hear that there. Yeah, I think that's what I heard too, was that there might have been like overlap between Chris Pine and Sebastian Stan and her, because he
Oh,
used to date her, but that was a while
interesting.
ago, so I don't know if that's true. So I thought they broke up a while ago, but I don't know. Um,
I don't know, but she
yeah.
was doing the most. She was just like kept giving a standing ovation. Like she was just really having a time at this Golden
Um,
Globes,
yeah,
dressed up like Barbie. And she's such an incredibly beautiful person. Like she doesn't need to do that at all.
yeah, no, she is, and like I have liked her in things that I've seen of her. I don't know. Yeah, it was interesting. So,
I thought it was amazing that the one movie I actually watched, The Substance,
hmm,
Demi Moore won for it. So I was like, oh
yeah,
my God, I
yeah.
really didn't think the odds were in my favor on this one. Um, but I was very excited. And I did somehow see her acceptance speech.
Okay,
Um, and I was like, whoa.
yeah,
So um, I'm happy. That shocked me personally.
yeah. You got
Yeah.
a peek in. And I was surprised that um Jeremy Allen White won again for The Bear. Like he's won
And that he
twice
wasn't
already.
there.
Oh my God, was he not there?
No, he was
I
not
forgot.
there. He's doing a Bruce Springsteen thing. So he wasn't
Oh,
there.
yeah, he's been spotted around New Jersey. Yeah,
Mm. Okay, go find
I forgot
Yeah,
him.
about
probably
that.
like right in the area where you got married stuff, right? And that like that's
Yeah,
the
Like
yeah, like
Asbury
back
Park.
near, we almost
Yeah.
had our Friday night event in Asbury Park. We decided
Oh,
not to because it was just a lot more convenient to have it where we had it. But yeah, it was like going to be a 15-minute drive. But that was the thing. It would have been a lot more with traffic maybe. So
well,
yeah,
where
Yeah.
you
but
had it was
he's
beautiful.
floating around here apparently. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And
Yeah, other big winners of the night, Shogun
mm-hmm.
won a bunch of the actors from the Japanese actors from Shogun, which was so deserved, and then Shogun the
Mm-hmm.
show, and poor Cosmo Jarvis just like being the only actor who was not only not nominated for Shogun but did not win amongst all of his like Asian castmates, like looking real confused when they all got up there for the final award, and it was just kind of sad.
Poor
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
I
Oh.
loved him on Shogun, honestly. Did you guys watch Shogun?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love
No.
Shogun. Yeah, it was great. I remember you told me that the British actor is doing like a Richard Burton impression the whole time,
Yes.
basically. Yeah, which I thought was funny. But
Oh my God, it
yeah.
was so good. I loved it. There's going to be another
Yeah.
season, so
Oh, good.
yeah. Other big winners, Amelia Perez, like
Mm.
shocking.
Mm.
I don't know if you did you guys see it?
No, it's on my list. I'm actually
Yeah,
thinking about
I would
watching
like
it this
to.
weekend. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
but
I hadn't seen it until it won at the Golden Globes, and I was like, I guess I better, but I really had not heard of anyone liking it,
mm.
and I didn't like it. And like it was not good. And it was not a better musical, certainly, than Wicked. So
Yeah,
a little
it was.
confused there.
Yeah, I was surprised that Wicked didn't get more. But it it did get like it was like the achievement in cinematic and box office success. Was that what it
Right.
was? Yeah.
It was. And I
Yeah.
think that that is right. But also, like, Amelia Perez is just not like a good musical. Like, the music is not good in this
Mm.
musical.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That's
like,
what I have heard very, very mixed things. Yeah. So,
yeah, no, it's wild. It's like the story is wild. The music is crazy. The like I didn't get it. I didn't get the whole thing. But also like Zoe Saldana was doing the most, and she I think where she deserved to be was on that stage at the Golden Globes, and maybe that's why
hmm.
she was so emotional. She gave like the world's most
Hmm.
emotional speech, and it was the
Yes.
very
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
speech, and it
Yeah.
really started us off on a real weird foot. I
Yeah.
don't know
She
that
was very
she's
emotional.
actually in the running for the Oscar.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I did think that I always like her. I think she's really good, but um I need to watch it. I think I'm gonna try to watch it this weekend. So, but
I'd love to
yeah.
hear your thoughts because I think that it also like is in conversation with all of these like strong woman movies that are
Hmm.
getting a lot of attention this season, which I think is great. Um, but yeah, no, just like the music, I wouldn't even call it a musical. Like it's like a movie with songs.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's like it's barely a musical. It's not really a musical just per se, but yeah, I'm gonna check it
Yeah.
out though.
So yeah, we
But
can wrap it up
yeah,
there. Next time we get together, we'll talk about some other fun stuff, maybe like
yeah.
trend spotting for 2025. What are we shopping?
Hmm.
How are we going to
Yes.
pass the time in this snowy, snowy, cold January on the East Coast?
Hmm. Yeah, and and then how many days till Copenhagen Fashion Week? We got
Oh, Copenhagen Fashion Week starts the
fifth,
27th.
so we got 16 days.
Yes, so
Countdown. Yeah.
excited. Yes,
Okay,
we can do a
cool.
primer on Copenhagen Fashion Week.
Can we get some like good coverage of that
Yeah, so
somewhere? How do we do it?
I joined their newsletter list. So I've been getting updates from Copenhagen Fashion Week, and actually, like, it is really cool. Like, I'm learning all sorts of things. They have kind of like it's kind of like a fashion week and also conference on like they have speaker series, and I don't know to what extent the other fashion weeks do this, but they have like panel discussions and all this sort of stuff about like state of the industry stuff. And I didn't realize this, but they also have like sustainability standards for the brands that show at Copenhagen Fashion Week. So really interesting stuff. Maybe we'll do a primer
Cool.
on it before we actually cover it. Yay.
Well,
Cool.
yay. All right.
Well,
Cool.
have a
All
good
right.
week. Everyone
Yeah.
stay safe, and
Thanks.
we will
You
talk
too.
soon.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.